Yeah, and I'd like to welcome Siham up to have your corridor.
10 minutes.
Kia ora, everybody. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. My name is Siham. I am one of the kayakos in Hippo Way, the certificate in adult tertiary teaching. I love my Tawira, I love my colleagues, I love this organization. I'm very passionate about education, preparing our youth for the future. I think education is very important for everybody. We learn. I believe I'm going to learn until my last breath. Hence, my choice of today's topic, which is it's very important, especially with what we're going through in this whole world nowadays, peace, which is very important. So, as you can see, the title, Educating for Sustainable Future, Unveiling the Impact of Educators on Peace Education in Alignment with SDGs. I believe that we are all aware of the Sustainable Development Goals. So I'm going to briefly talk about introduction, definition of what is peace education, its components, what is our role as educators, and I believe every single person in this room is an educator. You don't need to be in the classroom to be an educator. And also some briefly of the strategies, and demonstrate to you how these strategies are actually being utilized in different educational institutes around the globe, and then here in New Zealand, and then down to my classroom. So in order to know that, I would like just to briefly let you know that this is just a snippet. It's a part of a huge research, and it is very important to demonstrate our impact on our Tawira, who are going to be members in this greater community and society. So the objective is to just identify the alignment between the peace education and the SDGs, and investigate some of those strategies being employed by us, and then real-life examples, and just a little bird's view on what we are doing practically in my little, tiny, little world of classroom. So in order, when we start any topic, we need to understand the definition. And usually definitions of any concepts can be targeted from different concepts, from different angles. So this is a very simple one. Peace education is actually a multi-dimensional aspects and approach in our teaching and learning. And I would like to emphasize that it goes beyond the absence of violence and conflict. What we are trying to do here, we are trying to find what are the root causes that is actually creating all these social upheavals, all these violence, all the disturbances that we are finding all over the world. So the components of peace education can vary from human rights, from non-conflict, from social responsibility, from personal peace. It comes from within us, and lots of other components. So when we also look at these topics, we need to understand where did they come from? What was the evolution? If we look back in history, in my research, I dug deep to the world wars, to all of the origination of it, and where did it come from? It actually was the consequence of wars, conflicts, and human rights, and lots of abuses. So it is very important that we know this evolution in order to be able how to remedy it, in order to be able to find solutions and ways of dealing with it, and actually spread the social justice, which each one of us would like to be treated equitably and fairly. So if we're going to look specifically at one of the main goals that everybody talks about in social SDGs, it is mainly goal number 4 that talks about quality education, and it also highlights the intrinsic connection between education and sustainable development. Everybody hears the word sustainability, and everybody actually translates it and interprets it from their own perspective. So if we're going to look at specifically this clause 4.7, what does it say? Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. We are actually trying to build inside our Tawira their hunger, their desire to keep on learning outside the classroom, not only inside the classroom. So we are trying to actually look at peace education, human rights education, and education for sustainable development. So how are we going to do that? How is it contributing peace education to this specific SDG 4? It's fostering a culture of peace within our educational institutions, providing our Tawira with the knowledge, with the skills that they need to be able to take correct decisions when there is conflict resolutions. They have a voice and they have the techniques, they have the skills to be able to do that. We're trying also to promote the respect of diversity, human rights, and social justices. Look at each and every classroom. Look at each interaction you have every single day. We have people from diverse backgrounds. Look at that room and the diversity that we have here. Diversity can come in many shapes, in many ways, and it's extremely important to acknowledge it, utilize it to our benefit. So there are also other SDGs that are related to peace education, like, for example, number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Number 5, gender equality. Number 10, reduced inequalities. See how each and every one of them is interrelated. So now I would like to just briefly go through our role as educators, each and every one of you. How can we work at promoting peace education? We are the shapers, and we are the ones who make those future leaders, which is extremely important. We also help our Tawira to have this skill of critical thinking, which is extremely important. When you mark their assessment and tell them, this is critical thinking, no, it lacks depth. How many times we tell them that as a feedback for their assessments. Also, we are building global citizens. The world is so tiny. It is tinier than that ring nowadays. With a click of a button, you can reach anywhere in this whole world. Also, we are trying to build inclusive communities and conflict resolution skills, preventing radicalization and extremism, and alignment of the tertiary education goals. And of course, why are we here today? Hunger, research, Rangahau, that is why we are all present today. So let's look at some of those strategies. Those strategies are going to be exemplified on some of the countries around the world, like incorporating peace education in the curriculum, facilitating dialogue and discussion, real-world case studies, and all these things will help us actually to contribute on the promotion of peace education. So let's look at some of those real-life examples and how they are promoting peace education. If we're going to look at the first one, this is a curriculum integration at the American University. There is the experiential learning at the University of Bradford. Of course, in my research, I give more details about that. There is also in Canada, global citizenship. These are all demonstrating the strategies, the list of strategies. There is in Rwanda, there are collaboration of peace organizations at Kigali Institute of Education. in Australia. There is the technology integration at University of Queensland. In Norway, the real-world case studies is being utilized in the University of Oslo. And then so forth, so on. Where do we reach? New Zealand? New Zealand, come here. Here it is. Hooray, hooray. Victoria University. And there is also Lincoln University. And there's Easter Institute of Technology. And please come my classroom. Where are you? Yes, here you go. So that's my little tiny world that I'm living in. And these are the examples, the practical application in my classroom, the engagement with the Tiwananga values, and then finally the impact of Tawira on their community. So if we're going to look at how it's being practiced in my classroom, we have conflict resolution activities. I'm trying to build on their constructive feedback, the empathy and emotional intelligence, and also global citizenship interactions. I usually conduct lectures with universities overseas. The example, EMPMI University in Indonesia. And then I view a university which has got branches in different parts of the world. The next one, why is it not working? Okay. The alignment with the values of the Tiwananga, and then the final part, which is how this is impacting the Tawira, provide feedback, how this is helping them in their real life, in their activities, in their work, and how they are carrying those skills with them. Finally, there is a connection between peace education and the SDGs. Aligning peace education initiatives with the SDGs, actually, we are helping to shape a future for leaders, activists, global citizens who are equipped to tackle the global challenges, such as conflict, inequalities, and environmental degradation. And thank you very much, and my apologies. I'm over time.